Hello, friends, and welcome to another Make It Monday with Teresa. Today, I will be showing you how to make your own mandala. And for those of you who are not familiar with mandalas, they are simply um, circular images. So, we're going to be making a circle on this paper today. They're circular images in which an image is repeated over and over again, symmetrically around the circle. So to start today, to cut out the circle, I'm using this large bowl, and we'll just trace around this circle. And cut it out. And you certainly don't have to cut yours out. I like the way that it looks when it's all cut out. So mandalas represent wholeness, and people often use them as a way to meditate. And there is something about the nature of the repetitive images that lends itself to a meditation technique with these mandalas. But they can also just be used for relaxation, and then of course you can just enjoy the pure aesthetic nature of it. So there's lots of different layers here. Today I'm just going to show you how to make one, and you can choose how you want to use it. So we just have our circle here. What we're going to do is fold the circle in half. And then we're going to fold each of these halves into thirds. So we're making 6 equal parts of this circle. So if you've watched any of my previous videos, you know I'm really not a fan of measuring or being exact. So this is the disclaimer. This will not be an exactly equal sixth that I'm making. But I'm going to eyeball it and do my best. I think this is around the center, so I will try to fold it along the center here. I'm just kind of making sure that this section, this pie piece, and this pie piece are roughly the same, and I think they are. So I'm going to fearlessly put a crease here. And then we have one more crease to put. You can see we have 2 creases, and then this crease will go right down this center here. If you would like to measure yours so they're exactly the same, by all means, grab a ruler. All right, we're going to see if I came even close. No, I did not, but that's okay. So what we do now is anytime we draw an image in one of these 6, we're going to repeat it. So let's say I draw kind of this heart shape in the center. Well, then I'm going to repeat it 6 times, or 5 times rather. I'm going to repeat it. So I have 6 of these heart images. And so you can see that I'm not necessarily making these identical to one another, but again, it's the thought is just to have them repeated 6 times. I think I will also, I'm using oil pastels, but also using some colored pencils, so I think I might draw some leaves. So you can see here that I'm making these images kind of symmetrical to one another. So like even within the pie piece, I'm making these symmetrical, but you don't need to. So maybe on my next image, I'll show you something that's not necessarily symmetrical. And when I say symmetrical, I really am using that term pretty loosely because, as I've already said, I haven't measured anything. So there's no way they're actually symmetrical. But you can see where we're headed with this. Let's see, what else can we do? Maybe some sort of flower. So I think I'm going to make a flower in the center. Oh, one more. Here we go. Okay. Oh yeah, and I said I would do something that's not symmetrical. So let's see. Maybe that will be something that kind of goes across the... Maybe like that. So I'm just kind of putting in a... I don't even know what kind of a shape that is. Half of a gourd shape. Let's see. Okay, so we got those lines going. So again, this purple line that I have, it's not symmetrical across the pie piece, right? It's not symmetrical from here to here, but then it's repeated the same way 6 times. What else could we put in here? Maybe to balance out that asymmetrical piece, maybe like some berries over here. Oh my gosh, I don't know why I did that to myself. These are going to be hard to copy 6 times. Oh well. And you see a lot of these mandalas with like similar motifs. So you might see leaves a lot. You might see the shape of like a paisley shape. You might see sort of eye shapes. You might see a lot of floral imagery of, or natural imagery as well. And then I think I'm going to kind of use this purple line and do something with it on the other side. Maybe I'll just do that. Just a simple curve. All right, and then we can get as intricate as we want with this. Maybe I'll use green again, I think, and I'm going to shade in these hearts. And maybe I'm making them actually look like leaves now, I think. Speaking about the natural imagery. So these are actually leaves now, and I'm just going to put these little stripes to indicate leaves. Oops, there we go. And I wonder what you are doing nowadays to keep your hands busy and also keep your minds engaged. And I'm finding that there's only so much TV that I can really watch these days. I'm finding myself getting bored quickly of TV, or perhaps I've just like seen it all, and so looking for new ways to stimulate my mind. And this can be one of them because it doesn't have to be perfect, as I'm so clearly illustrating. It doesn't have to be perfect at all. It doesn't have to be carefully measured. and there's something really soothing about the repetition of it, because it's like, oh, I don't have to really think too hard about what I'm going to draw next. I just copy from one pie piece to the next. So this is kind of becoming a sort of a florally, or I should say flora based mandala so far. It looks very leaf-like, flower-like so far. And you can really take your time with this. I'm doing this quickly for the sake of the video so you can see how it works, but you can really approach this in as much of a meditative way as you want. So with these sort of little, I don't know what they are, flower buds maybe, I'm just kind of skipping the middle ring, whatever this middle part is called. I'm just skipping right over it, leaving some space. So you can see how this is starting to come together. And if you are someone who doesn't feel quite confident in your ability to draw a leaf or to draw a shape 6 times in the same way, and you want to make sure that you are, then you can simply cut that shape out of, well, you could draw it once and cut it out of paper or maybe like a thicker cardstock, and then you have that shape to then trace over and over again. So I'm just making more shapes here. So that takes some of the pressure off, because if you draw it once and you don't really feel like, oh, that's not really what I wanted, then you can certainly draw again and again until you feel like you get it right, and then you just simply cut out the version of it that you like the best. And I'm just trying for some different patterns here, but you can use whatever you like. There's really no right or wrong to any of this. As with any art that you pursue, there's no right or wrong. Don't let anyone tell you there is. There's no right or wrong. I mean, the perfect illustration here, these are all supposed to be the same size. This clearly is not. And that's okay. Alright, so let's see what we got so far. Oh, I kind of like this. I wonder if I want to add anything. Maybe I'll add just something up here to fill in this space. What color do I want to use? I haven't used an orange yet, so I will just do whatever this shape is called. Alright, and I think I will just sort of lightly fill it in. And let's see. feel like I want a way to connect this shape to the rest of what's going on here. So, maybe I'll just put a circle on top of each one of these. And some of these circles are going to be smaller depending on how big the purple leaves were in their pie piece. And yeah, I think I'll make these like little stripes again. These radiating lines. Kind of looks like a mountain now with some sort of green sunrise. Which I realize there's no such thing as a green sunrise, but maybe in this world there is. Oh, that's the other thing, is that sometimes a mandala is thought of as a world. And so everything you draw is contained inside that world. Everything you put on the mandala is part of that whole. So maybe in my world there's green sunrises. So that's it, really. I mean, in a nutshell, that's how you make a mandala. You could keep going with it and keep going with it. There's tons of negative space in which you could add. You could be as detailed as you want. Again, I'm going rather quickly today, and this is not normally how I draw, but just for the purposes of this video, I wanted to show you, just how simple it could be. But you could make yours as detailed as you wanted to. And it could be something you kind of return to when you're looking to relax, when you're looking for some quiet time, some repetitive, meditative time. This could be something that you leave just for that purpose, some me time. So if you have large paper, great. If you have small paper, great. If you have a plate or something circular that you can trace over, that's ideal. And if you can't, maybe you can borrow something. And then you just need to cut it out. And that's really all that's required. Other than that, you just need some crayons or colored pencils or oil pastels to color with. So this is the finished product, this mandala for today. I hope you enjoyed watching me make today, and I certainly hope that you will be making something yourself. So until next time, take care and have a wonderful Monday.